Today we're here at Deer Lakes Park in West Deer, PA. And if you've watched previous videos, you know we hiked the Lake Loops Trail. There's also a bunch of wild trails back in the woods here. This is the Green Trail. So this is the Green Connector Trail. And then we're gonna head up to the Green Loop Trail and walk around that. I think it's about 1.5 miles total. So far as I know, this trail is completely unfilmed and not on YouTube. So I'm very excited to film this for the first time and bring it to all of you. Right down there is the start of the trail. And then over on our left here, you can see it turns into a bunch of dead looking pines up in here. So I'll just kind of get a shot of these. The paint's really worn off here, but you can see the green markings, knowing that we're on the green trail. I think these are green boxes with some type of dot inside. I'm not sure the color the dot's supposed to be. There's no information on this online. There used to be a map on all trails, but it's no longer there. So we're just gonna have to do our best to follow this today. Starting off with a pretty big uphill climb here. I was on this trail the other day just to give it a look and kind of see what it was going to look like. I didn't do the whole thing, just this little connector piece. And as it turns out, it was really overgrown. It almost looked like a deer trail, if you can see behind me, but looks like somebody came in, maybe park maintenance, and cleared a little bit of this out. This is a slightly more urban park, but these trails are known for being incredibly overgrown, and they're still narrow, but they've knocked the stuff out so I don't have to duck every 2 feet, because before I did duck like just everywhere to even be able to walk, and I was like, I don't want to do that today. So anyways, we're back, and yeah, I spoke too soon. I might have to duck up here a little bit. It's unclear. Let's see. I don't have to duck, but so that's nice. They cleared that out just a little bit, so still narrow but walkable. Some type of tree nut down here. I'm thinking walnut. They kind of have a walnut look, but I'm just not sure. You can always drop that down in the comments if you know what kind of tree nut this is. It's a dead branch just hanging from this tree right here. Whew. I don't see many paint markings on this trail, so we're just gonna have to trust our instinct a little bit and hope for the best. Considering there's not really a map. I mean, there might be a map of, I might have to look to see if there's like a PDF map, but there's definitely not like a interactive map of like you are here with the GPS. And we have to make a choice already. So you can see it splits here and here. So do we go left or right? I'm thinking this is the loop. I'm gonna try and check like a PDF map and see if I can tell. It was good to consult the map because down there to the left, or I might be pointing to the right on the screen, it's hard to tell because it's backwards, will take us off into we don't know where. So we'll leave that to another day. We're trying to hit the green trail specifically today. So we're gonna go up this hill. Got some mushrooms down here. Almost looks like they were being eaten by something, but I can tell you it wasn't me. So, but something looks like it came along here gnawing on these mushrooms. So far, this has just been one large hill. So hopefully we level out soon. We again have another split, right and left. So we gotta make another choice. I will try and put a picture of the trail up here, but it appears when we go left, we hike the back side of the mountain, and then we come back on the front side of the mountain as opposed to the other way around. So we're gonna take the left path first. There's a little hole here in the ground. I'm not about to reach my hand down in there, but looks like something burrowed down in there. Looks like maybe there were some big trees fallen here or overgrown. So definitely park maintenance came through here and cut these. But some big trees. It appears this trail is going to be a lot of ups and downs. You can see we're kind of going to go down now. And I think it takes us around, and the top of the mountain's kind of right in front of us there on the, just on my right hand side, but straight ahead of you. So off to our left here, or maybe your right, is the trail, and then top of the mountain's up there. There's a suspiciously flat rock here. Not sure what that's about, but it does look interesting. We see our first good trail marking with the green. Looks like it's a green rectangle with a red dot in the middle. So that's how we're gonna know we're on the trail. Looks to be green rectangle, red dot. The tree directly in front of me looks like it's 4 trees in one. You can see the main tree there at the bottom, the trunk, and then it immediately splits into like 4 different trees out of one. That is wild looking. Deer. There's another one off to our right that went back into the woods. You can see here some dead leaves amongst the living leaves. This deer really just came out of nowhere on me. There's another one back in here. It's looking at me right now. It can see me and I can see it. You can see it through. There it goes. As soon as it moved, you could kind of catch where it was. It was hard to see if it was just standing still. It blends in. Being still in the woods really blends in. It's still again, it's back in there. Straight in front of me. It'll be more obvious if it starts moving, but it's definitely right there. I don't want to spook it too much. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm back here in the woods with at least 3 deer, so that's exciting. Maybe we'll get to see them later on again. Here's what looks to be a huge tree that fell along this path, but it's like it's been chopped down by maintenance. I'm gonna get a close up of this moss. The moss almost looks like tiny ferns, actually. Strange amount of rocks right here compared to everywhere else we've been, just right in there. Still going up the hill. On the upside, it'll be downhill on the way back, so that's exciting. Another tree with a green dot. These trees grow massive back on these trails. It seems like every trail I'm on, there's just trees that are so much bigger than you'd see just out in normal day walking life. Still going uphill. I'll definitely be in shape, that's for sure. If you've been following along with these videos since the beginning, you'll know that's our first deer sighting on any trail. We've seen a snake on the horse trail, but that was our first deer sighting, and there were 3, which was very fun. Also, it was a little scary at first because they just came out of nowhere and just full speed through the woods. Like, you didn't hear them until they were moving. They were just standing there very quietly. Then all of a sudden they bolted, and I was like, whoa, what's coming at me? Down on our left here through the woods is the Transfiguration Cemetery. Actually, there's a little trail that veers off here into the cemetery, so we're gonna go down and take a quick look-see. We might not go down into the whole thing, but we'll at least get some video. Wow, this view. Amazing view behind me, so this is gonna be a good spot to take a break for a second and get some water. I think we have time. We're gonna go down in here. These all say Makara on them. The far left one says Miller. This must be a family. Now, unfortunately, I came the whole way down this hill, so gotta head the whole way back up there in order to get back to the trail. But this was a nice stop area just to take a look around and remember. All right, we made it back up the hill. You can hear I'm breathing heavy, but back into the trail. So once we get into the shade here, breathe for a second and then continue. Whew. Just came up the cemetery hill. Looks like we're going right back downhill after coming up the hill in the cemetery. So I get the feeling this is going to be a pretty hilly trail. Another marker here, so we know we're on the right path. I'd say we're about a third of the way in. We've conquered a lot of the uphill, so hopefully there's not too much more of that. You can see this is pretty narrow, this particular trail. I think this might be more narrow than the horse trail. I don't necessarily think it's more rural yet because there's a road off to my left, and you saw that based on the cemetery that we saw just a bit ago. But yeah, it might get more rural as we head to the back side or the front side, whatever you want to call it, of this mountain. A lot of bees buzzing in here, so I'm gonna keep moving from this spot. Interesting bug on the ground here. Don't know what that is. Looked a little like a overgrown lightning bug to me, to be honest. It's hot out and I ran out of my regular water already. I have a little bit of Gatorade and a can of water called Liquid Death. It's my wife's. She'd probably prefer I not drink it, but if I desperately need water here in a bit, I will open it because I'm sure she'd appreciate me staying alive. I brought it just in case, so plan is not to drink it, but we'll have to see. If it keeps being hilly like this, might have to break into it. Heading up into the sunlight here, so let's see what awaits us. Looks like a clearing. That's exciting news. Oh, it's overgrown though. Holy moly. Okay, well, the trail is through this clearing, so we are going through this clearing. I don't love it, but here we go. Okay, now I'm starting to think it might be more rural than the horse trail. Just gonna keep moving. I'm gonna have to check for ticks real good after this. Wow, that goes up in there. All right, back into the woods. Got another green marker. So even after some maintenance was done on this trail, you can see it's still pretty narrow and overgrown in places. So yeah, I see why this is unfilmed. A lot of big logs on the trail. Some of them fell over recently, and so that would explain why mountain bikers don't come back in here. And I think your average person just wanting a walk would walk back at the lakes because it's really scenic and pretty. This has some scenic spots too, don't get me wrong, but you're bargaining for a lot more when you come back in here than just a nice walk. You got mosquitoes and hills, and I've seen a lot of bees flying around. I am coming across a lot of cobwebs on this trail, so that means probably no one's been back in here at least today, based on the amount of cobwebs that I'm just running into. There's a lot. So I'm just gonna keep going and hopefully run into a few less of those. Yeah, this one's pretty far out here. Okay, I'm starting to think this might be a little more rural than the horse trail, to be honest, because we're now pretty far out from the road, and there's just so many cobwebs on this trail. At least on the horse trail, you could tell that people have been through there at some point because there's not so many cobwebs. Big patch of ferns here, and I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. I've got to bring bug spray on the next adventure. I just heard what sounded like a dog back in here. It made a bark noise. So I'm thinking someone's got their dog up in here. So we might run into somebody soon. Got an airplane overhead. Got another split here. So got to the left and to the right. Now, it might be left and right on your screen differently, but we're gonna go this way. And I'll try and put another picture up on the screen here real quick, but it shows you'll see a bright red line. That's not actually the trail we want to go on. The trail we want to go on is unmapped on all trails, so we're not following the bright red line. We're following just a little dashed trail. So I got a little confused, but 98% sure it's this way. So here we go. All right, and I can confirm, I just heard the dog barking again, so definitely someone. There's a yellow jacket in front of me. I'm just gonna hang out for a second. Hope it goes around me. Definitely a dog barking up to our left. So yeah, I think there's a playground off to our left. Probably that side trail leads out to that actually. And you know what? I got a minute. So we're gonna go check that out, and then we're gonna come back and get on the green trail here. See a lot of splits here. There's a blue trail to our left, and there's a green trail with a blue dot straight ahead. This is not where we want to go, but I do want to just see this clearing up here. So then we'll turn back around and get back on the green square red dot trail. Came out here to a beautiful clearing. There goes the guy with his dog. Straight ahead to the right of the swing set, to the left of the tree. So we found the dog barking, and this just goes way out there, big old field. I'm not gonna walk the whole field right now. There's a little playground equipment to our right here. And yeah, so we'll come back and maybe hit this area another time. But for now, we're gonna go back into the woods, I believe. It's a old, bright colored bird box here. Yeah, back into the woods, but I wanted to come out and check out this clearing real quick. If you're out here at Deer Lakes and you're trying to follow the green square with blue blazes, blue dots in the middle, just a heads up, one of them fell down. So just be aware of that if you're out here trying to follow it. There's some of them, looks like they're snapped down. So it's a little confusing because these trails aren't the most clearly marked, but I do believe you can see there's a split behind me. There's another split right here in front of me. We are actually heading this way. This trail has markers, but they're random and hard to spot. So unlike the Ann Saxman trail, this particular trail, I wouldn't want to get lost on because there's probably 5 miles of trail at this park. So if you get turned around, you're going to be turned around for a long time. So I definitely I wouldn't be out here if I wasn't pretty sure where I was going. So dead leaves above us from a snapped down tree. And then behind those are alive leaves, and the sun is behind that. Love that view. You can hear over at that playground we were just at, there's some kids off in the distance. See, this is what I'm talking about though. I just came off of 2 splits, and now there's a 3rd split with no clear marking. So I gotta figure out where I am again. Still got the field off through the trees here to the left. And we got another big split up here. This one either takes you completely left or completely right. On the upside, it's not just a tiny trail. This one's got some width to it, so I assume that bikers use this. Now I've got another 3-way split. I mean, this park just has infinite splits on these trails and no clear directions. So, you know, bring a map if you're coming here and you're going way back in the woods. I'm going this way. Because the field's behind me, so I know that little trail's not going to take me there. And we just came from that one, but that one had a split. I mean, these all happened within like 0.1 miles, all these splits that I've been showing you. So really got to have some type of semblance. You either have to know it, bring someone with you that knows it, or just have some type of map that can maybe at least put a dot on a screen that says, you know, you are here. Looks like this part of the trail is a little more cleared out, so that is very nice. Got another one of these huge trees in front of us. It's hard to grasp just how big that is, but it looks like where it splits up above, there's like 2 whole trees attached. I was just thinking, this is our 2nd video on Deer Lakes, and didn't see any deer on the main loops trails because there's probably too many people, but we saw our first deer at Deer Lakes, so living up to its name. Unlike the horse trail where we just saw a horse print, I mean, that's still better than no horse, but yeah, just got a cobweb on me. So excited that we've seen a deer at Deer Lakes. Now, I've seen some trails on All Trails called like Bear Hollow and stuff, so hoping that doesn't live up to its name when we get to those at some point. But yeah, I mean, the deer at Deer Lakes is okay. Trail's narrowing back up here again. Got a bird off to the left. Don't think I caught that on camera. With all these splits, I actually missed the main trail off to the right. This would have taken us the same way. It's just a slightly veering trail off to the left, but I'd like to hike the whole thing if possible. So I'm gonna go see if I can find that. If not, no big deal. We'll just come back this way. So yeah, really confusing. I think right around here is where it's supposed to veer off into the woods according to my map, but there's literally no trail here at all. So yeah, not sure what to do about that. I think we're gonna have to just take this slight trail that we came through on past this big tree on the left and continue. So there should be, hypothetically, a little trail off to the left there. And it's really only like maybe 0.1 miles of trail. That is like the official green route. But again, there's literally no trail off to our left there. So we're gonna have to take this slight connector to get us back at the trail. So I don't know if people just weren't on it that long that it's just completely overgrown, but there's no markers, no trail. And yeah, I'm not about to wander off into the woods randomly and guess where I am. So especially since I'm on a time limit today. So let's go back towards this split and figure out where we are. Another three-way split here. So again, I know a lot of this video has been about you know, where the heck am I? But that's really the question today, is where the heck am I? So I know that I can see on a map that I'm heading back towards where I came, and there should be a loop off to the left, but I'm just not seeing it. There's literally no trail there. So these are like connector loops in the middle that are going to take us back to the main loop. If you're looking for something that's a bit of a hilly challenge and there's nobody on it, this is definitely the trail for you. And if you like to get turned around a little bit in the woods, this is also a trail for you. I got a jagger bush on me. I have been snagged. Uh-oh. Okay, please. Yep, good. That's why you wear long pants. So that doesn't happen to you. All right, we got another split. Okay. This is a very windy path. So that's interesting to note. Yeah, if you like getting confused about where you are in the woods, this is for you. Now, there was the promise of a meadow-like area on this trail, and I think I see it up here to our right. So, hoping that's the case. We're veering off from it, actually. You can see it out there. Hopefully it'll bring us up to the meadow over here. Maybe there's a trail over here we can check it out, actually. But I gotta keep moving because, like I say, I'm on a time limit today. I'm gonna just cut through the woods here because I want to check this out. And then we'll come back onto that trail, no problem. So, cutting through. This looks like a big marked trail. This is actually not the green trail. I don't know what trail this is, but yeah, I just want to come see this pipeline area. I think this might just be pipeline again, actually, not the meadow, but regardless, we'll take a look-see. Then we'll get back on the trail. Back at the pipeline, I think we crossed it originally down over there, lower on the hillside in the valley there. Pipeline this way. And there's a big open field up here, so I really want to see this. If it looks like the green trail is going to take us by it, I'll go back and go that way. But yeah, I just want to see this in case we don't get to see it on the green trail. All right, this is interesting. I wouldn't call this a meadow. It almost looks like a farm, but it's not. You can see just somebody chopped the grass down back in here, and it's all kind of dead looking. There's a bush out in the middle of the field. It's really tall, actually. It's a really tall, like, island bush in the middle of this field. There's a couple of them. If I had more time, I think I'd go out here and explore it. Let me see if it's swampy or what's going on. I hear a ton of bugs. So yeah, just taking a look at this field. This is interesting because it's like they definitely mow back in here, but there's just like 3 big bushes in the middle, and yeah, not a person in sight. So I'm gonna go back this way and get back on the trail. We'll come check that out another day when it's a little bit cooler out, because that thick grass, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of bugs that jump up at me. Heading back here through the pipeline again. We're gonna go back through the woods and get on that green trail again. We wanna head back towards the car here. It's still quite a ways to go, and I got about 40 minutes before I gotta be somewhere. So just heading back here, crossing through the woods into the trail, and yeah, back on the green trail with red dots. I think we crossed about here. So let's walk back through the woods here, see if we can find this trail again. Let's hope so. This is why you don't go off the trail, right? Okay, I think I see it. It's very small, but it's here. Yep, got it. So there it is, little trail left, little trail right. Here we go. Immediately another split. I am very happy to say that after all those twists and turns, we are officially back on the main part of the Green Loop Trail. So we had to hit a couple of connectors there because there was no actual part of the Green Loop, it appears, based on what I saw. I don't see any official trail markings, but according to the map and where we are, this is the outer loop of the Green Trail. So that's exciting. Oh, it's turning back here, maybe not. What? That was a nope. That was the wrong way. That's actually like doing a switchback and heading back towards the other direction where we don't want to go. There's a lot of bugs. We want to head towards the car. So trying to find the right trail for that. Lots of ferns here. We're back on the green trail. It seems the official trail off to the left just doesn't exist. There's a trail here through the pipeline, but that's so they can keep stuff maintenanced. We're actually heading just straight ahead. So this is like still the other side of the Green Loop Trail, just not like the far left, because it doesn't, as far as I can tell, that far left trail doesn't seem to exist. Yeah, another split. There's that weird looking rectangle meadow to our right. I think we want to stay on the trail here though, trying to avoid that thick grass. Yeah, there's just so many splits here. Haven't seen a green rectangle with red dots in a long time, but that's okay. I know we're heading in the right direction. I mean, I guess to be fair, this trail's not even on All Trails, which All Trails has just about every trail that people have been on here at Deer Lakes, at least to an extent. I mean, it's not like perfect, but All Trails definitely has a good listing of, this is the orange trail, the white trail, the yellow trail, the red trail, or combinations of. There's a purple trail, I think, but currently, or at least as far as I know, the green trail isn't even on All Trails, let alone YouTube. So yeah, this explains why nobody comes back here. It's so easy to get turned around. Let's see if we're on the right path still. We're making some progress here. That eerie looking meadow is now off to our right. So we're working our way around that meadow. Got some more down logs here across the trail. We have a 3-way trail split here. The right takes me to that meadow area, and then there's 2 ways here, and there's a 4th way behind me. So we're just gonna go left. Hopefully we're getting back to the markers soon. Oh man, check out that pile of downed tree almost on this trail. It's like a spray paint marker on there too. I guess they're gonna cut that at some point. I assume that's why there would be a little spray paint marker on it. Big downhill incoming. We're back in a place where there's less trail splits, and there's only a few more like big splits left, hopefully. As I say that, here comes one. But we're at least in the right direction, so that's good. I think we want to go to the right here. It's unclear. The left looks like a bigger trail, but we will see. We'll just have to kind of go down here and check it out, you know? There's a massive cobweb in front of me. You might actually be able to see it strung across this trail. That is pretty wild. There's something breaking some fairly big branches up here. So yeah, I gotta check the trail and make sure I'm on the right path here. For those of you who were hoping, no, it's not a bear or a Sasquatch. It was a squirrel up in a tree knocking nuts down onto the ground. Those like walnut looking things. So yeah, that's what was making those clacking sounds and snapping sounds. But look, we found the trail again. Double green with a red marker. I assume that means switch back. And I think we want to go to the right here. There's right and left. It's a very large tree here to the left. I don't even have to really get up close to show you this, but I will. It's a pretty massive tree. This one kind of matches the size of the ones we saw in St. Clair Park. There's another switchback marker, and we're officially back on the official trail. Again, it kind of just, the markers stop back in there at a certain point, and it's just a free-for-all kind of find yourself part of the trail. Just figure out where you are. Oh, we got mountain bikers up here actually, so this is cool. So just passed a guy mountain biking. Here comes another person. How you doing?
Beautiful day.
Yes. So the second guy we just passed there, that was the guy, the first one was kind of yelling back to like, which way? So that, for us, that means that we're heading back towards where there's people, so we know we're on the right path. They, however, are heading back up into the woods where you get lost. So yeah, downhill from here, it looks like, quite literally. Looks like the park has some of these trees marked with little red ribbons. I think we saw one on the way up too. I think those little red ribbons that we just saw could be for like marked to chop down. Looks like we have one more split here, so we gotta make the right decision, or the left decision. Oh, there's a trail marker here. We're gonna take it. On further observation, the way I just said let's take turns out to be where we went off to the left, and the cemetery is going to be off to the left a ways there. This is the loop. So off to the right is where we came down. Off to the left is where we started the loop. And then down here is the connector path to this loop. So yeah, apparently the woods doesn't look the same, even if you've just been in it like an hour later. So, and there was a trail marker and I got turned around. So, you know, just kind of safety warning. Just, you want to keep an eye on where you're going in the woods so you don't get too lost. We're on the connector now, heading back towards the car. Aha, now I know where we are. Remember these mushrooms on the way up? I was like, an animal's been eating these. This is like, on the way back, they kind of look like potatoes to me, but this is definitely the connector trail. I do remember those specific mushrooms. now that I'm thinking, it's actually highly impressive that those guys are back in here biking up and down these hills. I mean, you've seen this trail, it's pretty narrow in spots, and yeah, bringing a bike back in here, that's pretty wild. That takes a lot of leg strength. With some mushrooms on this tree. Just getting a close up of these mushrooms. It's amazing on the way back just how many things that you don't see that you saw on the way up, you know? Like we saw those mushrooms, we saw just a lot of stuff that, same trail, but completely different view. It looks totally different. I am glad they came through there and cut down some of the brush though. I mean, it was really brushed over last time that I just kind of started up this. So glad that they took the time to cut that down a little bit so we didn't have to duck through tree branches for 80% of that. I hear dogs barking and kids yelling up here, so we're definitely getting close back to the main road. This is exciting. Perfect timing too, because it's just about time for me to keep on going for today. All right, you can see we're back at the dead pine area, and we're heading back in towards that little field, and just beyond that little field is the main road. Heading back down in here and going towards the road. I took a quick stop there for a second to put the bear spray away. I just keep that on me, just in case, because if you have in your backpack, it's no good. You know, it's happens in a very short period of time. You know, also deters people that are up to no good. So, not that there's not many, but it's better to have it than wish I did. Anyways, we are back here, coming out of the woods. So yeah, main road. Ahead of us are the cars, and off to the left there's the lake, and straight ahead's like a kid's playground. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video.